Hello everybody, this is a Napa fan here, and this is qualifying for race number 9 in season number 6 of the NOFSRL Turkey Hill Truck Series. We are here at the Texas World Speedway qualifying for tomorrow's BC Rich Guitars 250. One of my favorite races to do all year long in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, the one and only race we have here at the Texas World Speedway in College Station, Texas. And it's always a wild race. It might be a little bit calmer this year, though. A little bit of a different aero package for these guys. They're not going to be bunched up like they have been with the 3 and 4 wide constantly throughout the field anymore. They're going to be a little bit more spread out in single file, so passes are going to be a little bit more difficult, but a little bit harder earned, if you know what I mean, and that'll definitely make for a better race. I think it'll be a more legitimate race than it has been in past years, which definitely was the goal we had in mind in bringing this different aero package to the Texas World Speedway. Anyway, going to be a 10-minute session as the racetrack is quite long. I'm going to make sure everyone gets a time in. And Fisher G in the number 43, the first driver out there, the points leader as well by 20 points ahead of Dan Park coming into this race. Been a really good season for this team. And Fisher G will be the first driver to complete a lap as well for the Big Names Motorsports team. And CJ Williams, they also lead in the owner's standings as well. Another huge opportunity for this team if they can get a good run tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, when the race will be on Napa Fan. He's got a first time in right there. Eli Bright as well got a time in. There are actually two teams who have yet to receive any owner's points, which means there are two drivers who have received the top 10 finish yet this season. That is Eli Bright for Zidell Motorsports and Josh Williamson for Autism Speaks Racing. Neither of those drivers have gained a top 10 yet, which means that the owner standings, the owners for those teams, of course, Josh Williamson, the owner of his own team, and Eli Bright, owner Justin Zidell. Neither of those guys have gained any points in the Owners' Championship. I would expect some times to be pretty fast in this session. The draft is very significant. Seth Cole just gained the fastest time, and you can see him. He's going to pull right up to this pack. I would expect him to get another really fast time here. There's Andrews Racing. They're based out of Texas right there with Matthew Brown. They're in this race, and Matthew Brown, currently the 4th fastest, but you see the time that Seth Cole posted right there. He got a huge draft on that pack and nearly went a full second faster than the field for a second right there. That's since changed. Chase Marks, last week's winner, who got that race victory at the Texas Motor Speedway after he stayed out before the caution came out, took his pit stop under the yellow flag and put everyone on the tail end of the lead lap. We had somebody go around, and that was Seth Cole. You guys might want to watch out for possible wrecks early on in the race tomorrow. That's when they're still going to be bunched up at the beginning of the race, so that's when you would expect a wreck to happen. But regardless of what happens here, Seth Cole's time will stand. He currently still is the fastest driver here in qualifying for the BC Rich Guitars 250. Josh Williamson just went up to 2nd. And with what we're expecting tomorrow, you probably want to start inside the top 10. It's going to be difficult to work your way through the field, and especially make a pass for the race lead. We will see it happen. I guarantee it, but it's going to be difficult. We're not going to see near as many passes for the lead as we've seen in past years, meaning it's going to be more, like I mentioned, more of a legitimate race, in my opinion. Edwin Mendez has just gone to the top of the board, number 63. These guys are going to have to earn those passes, and I like it when they have to. It's just not a crapshoot on who gets the race victory. These guys actually have to go out there and do something. They just don't have to be in the right position at the right time. They actually have to get to that position off of merit. I'm trying to explain it. I'm trying to sell the race to you guys tomorrow. It's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it. It's just going to be completely different from what we've seen before. But I don't think there's anything wrong in that. I'm trying to get some more realistic racing, some real racing, as everyone likes to complain about it in real life. So my whole goal here is to make it as realistic as possible and not gimmicky. which is why we go on a strict points championship for all the series now. So Edwin Mendez is the fastest driver, Madison Toll is second, Trey Smith, Chase Marks, McAngelo and the Wang, we really haven't talked about him too much the past few races. He comes into this race 35 behind. Of course, he was the points leader for a majority of the early part of the season. Of course, this is the halfway race. Once we're done with this race tomorrow, we'll be halfway through the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. And McAngelo and the Wang, number 78, won, and Las Vegas looks to be starting 5th tomorrow at the moment. Seth Cole fell all the way to 9th. So many other drivers got out there and got a slipstream going on. A lot of guys in this pack especially. There is last year's winner of this race, Joe Rakowski in the number 64. Not sure where he currently is on the leaderboard, but it goes Edwin Mendez, Madison Toll, Shane Lake, Trey Smith, Chase Marks, McAngelo and the Wang now in 6th, Owen Miles, Eric Monaco, Seth Cole, and Eli Bright. That's the top 10 at the moment. Still 3 minutes and change remaining. Actually, more like 4 minutes and change remaining, because they'll add probably about a minute extra time onto the clock there before the session is over. Everyone except Zachary Fitzwater has completed a time here in qualifying. There is Zachary Fitzwater, just got his first time in, not an official full lap under speed, but he'll get it right here. And that was a problem we were having. We actually initially tried going 5 minutes, and everyone got a time in. So we redid it, and now we got a 10-minute session. So Trey Smith moved up. Matthew Brown moved up. He tied with Owen Miles, pushed Eli Bright outside the top 10. Great run there for Andrews Racing. Of course, they're based here in Texas, so they would love to get this race victory. And this is a special race for the Texas natives especially. Of course, John Arndt, student at the Texas A&M University here in College Station. Of course, we know it's a special race for him. Of course, like I mentioned, it's the only race we have at Texas World. Means a lot probably for Andrews Racing. John Andrews, a Texas native as well. I don't know if there are any other Texas natives. Don't know where everyone lives exactly. But I do know those two teams right there. Flying Aces Racing and Andrews Racing are definitely going to be fighting hard for this race when John Andrews, or should I say John Arndt, is 12th fastest. Pretty good starting position in the 05 machine. And with this being the only Texas World race we have on any series throughout the entire year, I know a lot of these guys want to win it. BC Rich Guitars 250, always one of my favorite races to do. We've had it in the Turkey Hill Truck Series schedule since season number 1. Eli Bright just went to the top of the board. Took the provisional pole away, 37.204 ahead of Edwin Mendez. Then it's the 63 machine of Edwin Mendez in 2nd. Trey Smith, Madison Toll, Shane Lake up the 5th. Chris Skinler, Chase Marks, McAngelo and the Wangwu, Matthew Brown, Owen Miles. That is the top 10 right now. Great run for Eli Bright. We have not seen much of Eli Bright this season, but he's looking to make a statement, possibly get the race victory tomorrow here at the Texas World Speedway. 11th is Eric Monaco. 12th is Seth Cole. Of course, Seth Cole put on that time really early on in the session. Last year's Texas World winner, Joe Rutkowski, in 13th. Or should I say, someone else moved up. Always change it on me. Jesse Turner just went to 9th in the number 75. Great run for Turner. And he's got a bit of a slipstream behind Chris Skinler, Madison Toll, and Ace Garcia. Eli Bright continuing to hold on to the fastest time, though, here in qualifying. Great run for him in the number 5 machine. Jason Tucker to 2nd. I haven't seen much of him this season, at least up to this point. He got a really good time, and Jesse Turner's went to 3rd. Great run for Turner in the number 75. And late in the session as well, he's pretty good distance behind this pack, and he got that slipstream on him. 37.257 for Jesse Turner, trying to win his first ever race in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. But it does appear that Eli Bright's going to get it. Number 5 machine with the fastest time here in qualifying. We're probably going to add on about a minute, or maybe about 45 seconds. So it's not completely over quite yet, but it's looking pretty good for Eli Bright to start on the pole position for tomorrow's BC Rich Guitars 250. North Texas World, a 2-mile racetrack. We're going to have 32 laps tomorrow, a 64-mile race. There will be pit stops for the first time ever at Texas World for these guys. That'll be interesting. Of course, it really affected the race last week. I kind of hate it that happened. We're hoping it does not happen again. Whereas with these high-speed racetracks, sometimes it can be difficult to merge onto the pit lane. John Arter's moved up to 10th. Josh Williamson's up to 7th. Pretty different top 10 than what we initially thought we were going to have. It's Eli Bright who will start on the pole position. Jason Tucker, Jesse Turner, Edwin Mendez, Trey Smith, Madison Toll, Josh Williamson, Chris Skinlarch, Shane Lake, and Texas native John Arndt rounding out the top 10. That's how the lineup for tomorrow's BC Rich Guitars 250. Take a look at the full standings right there. That's how they're going to start back in the field. Going to be interesting to see how those guys fare in the race tomorrow. But it's going to be interesting. That's all I got to tell you. Stick around tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Napa Fan. Eli Bright's going to lead the field of the green flag in the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from Texas World. Congratulations to him on the pole position. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the 9th race of the season. I will see you guys later.